Hello, my name is Troy White, portfolio manager, financial educator with the firm Hoodoo Financial. Today, we're here to talk about real estate investment strategies. I'll start by saying there's a lot of real estate investment strategies, and I can't list them all, go into detail for them all, but I'm going to go over the ones that you should definitely understand if you're going to become a real estate investor. These are the you must understand, and you're going to kind of need to do a combo of these various strategies as a real estate investor. All right, so to start, we're going to talk about buy and hold. So you're going to hear this is kind of some of these are strategies within strategies, or general concepts. And so the buy and hold strategy. So that means you buy it and you hold it. You holding it for keeps, and that is basically that means you're buying a rental property, and you're doing it to collect income. You want the cash flow, but you also benefit from the appreciation of that property that you purchased. And again, I'm really covering strategies that relate to residential properties, so not commercial and a lot of other types of real estate that you could be getting into. So buy and hold means you buy a rental property, you're holding it so that you will continuously generate income, and you want that property to appreciate over time. And and through leverage, meaning you have a mortgage, your goal is to as you pay that mortgage, you are also paying down um, the debt, which means you are increasing your equity over time. All right. um, Short-term rentals is it's exploded as a new strategy lately, within the last, say, 10 years. And so think of things like Airbnb, VRBO, that's a vacation rental by owner. And this is a pure cash flow play. And the reason is because, or something I want to point out to you is that I mentioned some of these are strategies within strategies, but there are multiple strategies just in short-term rentals. For instance, you don't actually have to own the property to be in a short-term rental into that game. And in terms of the income, you make theoretically you make more from these short-term rentals than you would if you had a long-term tenant there. But obviously, it's that risk reward trade off. I mean, without a long term tenant, you have the more possibility for vacancy. So, when your property is vacant, that means the business is not making money. So it's risk reward trade off that you and your expertise has to take care of. And then let's talk about fix and flip. Fix and flip. A lot of people think they want to be fix and flip, but it's a lot more to it than what you see on the TV shows. And the TV shows don't necessarily show you the reality. They don't go in depth into the nuts and bolts of a deal, and the time crunch and working with contractors and all those things. But fundamentally, with fix and flip means you're going to buy an undervalued property. You're going to fix it up and you're going to sell it. So you buy it undervalued, you inject value, and then you sell it to extract your profit. That's how that works. So fix and flip. Wholesaling real estate. Um, Fundamentally, so wholesaling real estate is another way to be a real estate investor, but you don't actually have to buy a property. What I mean by that, as a wholesaler, you locate real estate investment opportunities. So you are the person who goes out and finds undervalued properties or properties that you can get under contract for less than it's currently worth. There's many reasons why people will do this. Many reasons. You just have to locate those opportunities. It's happening every day. So you get it under contract and then you sell the contract to another investor. And so other investors, including myself, are looking for a great deal. And so a great, I'll go over what's a great deal by the what that means as far as the formula. But good deals depends on who the investor is and what their criteria, what they're looking for. But your goal as a wholesaler is to go out, make offers, and when someone accepts the offer, then you get it under contract, and then you try as quick as possible to sell that contract. So you, as a wholesaler, need to constantly have a listing of buyers and a listing of sellers. So you're looking for both all the time. And you're that middleman who's making profit without actually buying anything. All right, I want to talk about REITs. REITs is REIT, and that it's just referred to as a REIT, but that's an acronym for Real Estate Investment Trust. And a real estate investment trust is essentially buying and selling of real estate on the stock market. Just to give you a easily understandable explanation, it's like a mutual fund of real estate, and investors can buy shares of that mutual fund. So you buy into a REIT, and it's real estate. It should definitely be a part of anyone's real estate investment portfolio. So it's real estate on the stock market, and it's a way to generate passive income. So you don't have to do much. You just, with your investment, set it. It's in there. You're going to receive the income. Then crowdfunding. Let's talk about crowdfunding. There's a lot of ways that crowdfunding is involved in real estate. Crowdfunding basically is about pooling resources from investors to accumulate the capital that's needed for a real estate investment project. But there are other aspects of crowdfunding that you might not know is crowdfunding. So, for instance, peer-to-peer. So private lenders often loan to fix and flip people who are fix and flippers. They usually get their money from hard money lender or private lender. And I'll go over these type of lenders in a different video, but basically what I'm saying is you could be one of those private lenders by engaging in crowdfunding or syndicating deals. That means you could be an investor in a deal, or you could create the deal and be the syndicator, meaning you put it together, you make something out of nothing. And so all those people who are looking for something, they can contribute their dollars and they benefit from the efforts that you went into to find this great deal. So just think of an apartment building that's got 100 units, and that's too big for most of our pockets to invest in. So what if we put all our pennies together, and somebody is the leader of this, is the lead investor, or the lead manager, and they put the deal together. They put it on the crowdfund portal, and they they find investors and they purchase the property, and they make it a win-win for everyone. Again, each one of these strategies that I'm going over, we could dive into the details, for an hour or beyond for each. Rental properties, fundamentally, folks may have their strategy of just investing in rental properties. So that's just rental income. You're the landlord. So that could be you just bought a single family house and you put some, you set it up for rent, and you find tenants, you put them in there, you collect your rent. And now it's a lot that goes into that: the management, the upkeep, the managing the tenants, the just fundamental property management. So if you're good at some of those details, then something to get into. And that could go from a single family home to a duplex, a threeplex, triplex, fourplex, apartment buildings, whatever. Rental income is your goal. Now let's talk about leverage. And I'm including this as a strategy, but it's actually fundamental to investing in real estate. Now, you don't have to use leverage. You could just dig in your pocket and pull out a few $100,000 and purchase a property and fix and flip it, buy and hold it, uh, collect the rent, whatever you want to do. But if you don't have the money to just dig in your pocket and do that, or if you don't want to tie up your money into the walls of this building, you should use leverage. Leverage. Think of a seesaw. If you're sitting on a seesaw and a big fat person jumps on it, you're gonna go shooting up in the sky, right? Well, that is what leverage is all about. So when you borrow to buy a property, so you borrowing, let's just say the property costs 300,000, and you put 20% down, you borrowed what? That's like $340,000, and so that leverage gives you the ownership rights of the building. So you collect the income. The appreciation of the property belongs to you, and 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 all the things that go with ownership. And over time, you are the owner. Or but the mortgage is just, they just have a lien on the property. So it's yours, but you borrowed the money to buy it. So that's what the leverage is all about. So it's a mortgage. It requires a down payment that gives you the ownership access and the rental income, the appreciation, and this is how it pays for itself, because the goal is for the tenants to pay you in rent enough to pay for your mortgage and put money in your pocket. And over time, rents go up and the appreciation is going up because you're paying down the mortgage, and it's just all gravy for you. If the numbers match. But I want to talk about lease options and also master lease options. It's kind of different, but they're the same. Lease option is it works to acquire rental property with little to no money down. It's one of the ways you can acquire property with little to no money down. So what it means is, you own a property. I come to you, I say, hey, and again, there are multiple strategies to use this lease option, but here's one. You own a property. Let's say you live in Chicago, but your property is in California, where I'm at. So I say, hey, you over there in Chicago, you inherited this property. You don't even know what's happening with it. Won't you let me get that from you? I'll give you, 250,000 for it, but it's worth 350, or you expect it's worth 350. And I say, yeah, but you're gonna have to come up here and fix it up and get it ready to sell, and then you're gonna give up some money to sell it. That means the real estate agent is gonna have to receive some money, appraisals and all of this stuff, closing costs. Where you could lease it to me right now, and there could be terms, uh, associated with. So for instance, lease me the property. I'm gonna pay you, $2,000 a month, whatever it is. Say $1,000 a month. Whatever, depends on the numbers, right? And I'm gonna pay you that as a lease. So now my job is to go in there, inject some value, so that I could maybe rent it. So if I'm paying you 1,000, maybe I can rent it for 2,000. And then so I didn't have to do anything, just got it under contract, got it from you. I leased it from you, and now I'm making some money. Or maybe I have a clause in it. I'll say, okay, it's a lease option. So I have the option to buy it, right? So let's say I'm going to lease option for 5 years with a balloon payment of X amount, that 250. Or you say, well, it's worth 350. I say, okay, well then, so I'll buy it from you for 275 in 5 years. Or maybe I'll say 350 in 10 years. And the reason let's just take that scenario. You say, no, I know this property is worth 350,000. I say, okay, I'll give you 350, but I just want to lease it from you right now, and I'll give you the 350 in no later than 10 years, right? So then, hey, I'll lease it from you. I go in there and I refurbish the whole place. I'm paying you this $1,000 a month, and I rent it after I've refurbished the property, rehabbed it. Now I can rent it for 2,500, so I'm making 1,500. You making 1,000, and I just injected value, so it'll now appraise. And this is all theory on this one, right? So let's say it appraises for 400,000 now. So okay, well I can now buy it from you for 350 because it's worth 400. Or and I'm going to go over a formula that is exactly the amount. Tell us exactly the amount, how much I can offer this person. And so, but that's how the lease option works. Basically, hey, lease me the property. I'm gonna pay you X amount, and then I'll kick you down the full amount later. And whatever the terms, there's a lot of different terms we can work on. I mean, it could be anything. It's whatever you guys agree to. And so, but the point is, you must have a plan of how you're going to make money off of this, and you must have a plan of how you're going to exit. You need an exit strategy. So, how you going to pay the owner in Chicago? So the scenario I just mentioned, maybe that won't even work. If I'm going to give you 350 and it's only worth 400, that might not be enough appreciation for me to give you the 350 because it's going to cost me money still. Why? I'll cover that in a second. And then let me go over a master lease option first. So it's the same thing that I just talked about, but you have the master lease. So this is in the case where, let's say, 100-unit apartment building, and you found this owner and they're ready to sell it, and you say, okay, well, give me 2 years to get the property up to date, or rehab, and then I'll give you the asking price that you want. And so in that scenario, I have the master lease, because all the people in the 100 units, they also have a lease, but they leasing it from me, and I'm leasing it from the original owner. And so again, you got to have a plan on how you're going to make some money out of it, and you got to have a plan, that exit strategy, how I'm going to pay this owner off and when the time, according to the deal, right? If it's 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, whatever it is. And here's the one more. Let me cover house hacking. House hacking is an excellent way to get into real estate. What that is all about is, think about it this way. You're paying rent somewhere, right? So let's say you pay $1,000 a month in rent. Well, how about you go house hack? So another single family residence, just for this example, I'm going to say you're going to buy a 4-unit building. That's not considered apartment building. That's still considered single family residence. All right, 4 units in there. So unit A, B, C, and D. So you move into unit A, and the people in unit B, C, and D are also paying $1,000 a month. So that's 4,000 that everybody's paying. You pay 1,000, and each one of the tenants pay 1,000. But your mortgage is only 2,500. So in a sense, essentially, you don't even have to pay rent no more. You're living rent free because those other three tenants paying $1,000 a month each, right? That's $3,000, but your mortgage is 2,500. So you're pocketing $500 a month, and you don't pay rent. So this is a way to do that. You house hack, you build the inject value. That's something you always have to do as a real estate investor. You inject value. I'll talk about that another time. What does that all mean? But paint it, upgrade the kitchens and appliances and carpets, etc. And now you can move out, and the person who moves in is going to still. You just increase the rents by improving the building. So now the person that moves in is paying $1,200, right? So you got three people paying you 1,000, and every time somebody moves, the rent go up. Remember that rents go up every time somebody move out. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, there's turnover. You get those three people to get out, and then you get a new tenant in there. So everybody is now in the building for $1,200 a month. So $1,200, that's 24. That's 40. That's 24. That's $4,800. But remember, your mortgage is $2,500. So the difference goes in your pocket, and you now just go house hack again. Go do it at another building. You do that same thing. That's a way many real estate investors start real estate investing. That's the way they do it. That's house hacking. And so, and then let's talk about the Bur method. Bur method. Bur stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. So you go buy a property, and when I say buy a property, remember, you're always looking for, as a real estate investor, you're looking for undervalued properties. You don't want to buy the prettiest, best property on the block. That's not where you're gonna make no money. You go buy a property that is a diamond in the rough. So it is a decent neighborhood, but it's the ugliest house on the block. So in the scenario of a Bur, let's say you buy the ugly house, you rehab it, so now it's worth more because you shine that diamond up, and then you rent it out. Now you're collecting income. You refinance it because you have improved the property, because now it's worth more because of the rehab that you did. So you refinance it, and you pull your money out whatever you invested, you take that and put that back in your pocket. Now you own the property, and the tenants are in there paying for the property and putting some money in your pocket. And then what do? You repeat. You do the same damn thing again down the street, somewhere else, wherever your market is. You constantly are on the lookout for these deals, for a Bur deal. All right. But fundamental to all of these strategies is one thing that you need to be looking for. And there's a magic formula. That magic formula will allow you to be a real estate investor without using your money. And so that's not really true. I shouldn't say it like that, because everything costs money, but we want to get all our money back in our pocket that we spend. And as best as possible, we want the ability to not spend nothing. How do you do that? Okay, write this formula down. It's MV times 0.70 minus RC minus SC equals PP. Now, what does that mean? All right, MV is market value. RC is repair cost. SC is sales cost. PP equals purchase price. So, and the 0.70 is relates to the loan to value. Now, back to the Bur method that I mentioned, the refinance. So we want to buy it, rehab it, rent it, refinance it. Now, when you refinance, it is likely that it's going to require 70% loan to value. Might get different, might be better, might be 80%. But for you to, the deal you should be looking for is 70%. And I'm going to explain this. So MV times 0.70. So that says the market value. Okay, if the market value is $100,000, meaning the comps, meaning the comparable properties in this neighborhood are selling for $100,000. Okay, that's the market value. So times 0.70. So I'm going to pay 70% of the market value. So MV times 0.70. And now, not only that, I want to subtract the repair costs. So, dang, so what if, so 100,000 is the market value times 0.70. So now we already at 70,000. So although it's worth 100, I'm only going to pay 70. So now, and then in addition to that, I'm going to subtract the cost that is what it's going to cost me to repair the building. So let's say it's going to cost me, for this example, let's just say it's only $10,000. It's going to be $10,000 to repair this, to bring this building up to the market value. All right. Then that means I'm going to subtract that. So we was at 70,000, subtract another 10. So right now I'm only going to give you 60,000. And so then sales costs. What are sales costs? All right. If you're getting a hard money loan, then it's the points and the carrying costs while you are repairing this property. So it's a cost. There's money involved with that. Or if you're using a realtor, real estate agent, they're going to charge you commission for you to acquire the property in the first place and when you sell it. So you want to subtract that too. So for the sake of argument, let's say that's another $10,000. All right. Then we were saying we was at 60. Now I'm at 50. So 100,000 is the going rate in the market if this building if they fix it properly, get it ready to be sold. But I'm not going to give you no 100,000. I'm giving you 50,000. I'm offering you that right now. Take it or leave it. And many times people will take it. In the scenario that I mentioned, a person living in Chicago, they got a property in California, and they ain't never seen it. It was handed down to them from a grandparent or something. They don't have no intention of doing nothing with it. And you say, hey, I'll give you $50,000 right now. What? Okay, give it here. That's what you might hear. And that happens on a regular basis. And so that's what a wholesaler is also looking for. A wholesaler, their job is to find that formula. MV times 0.70 minus RC minus SC equal PP. So you're going to offer them PP. And so then they're going to say, so as the wholesaler, you will say, okay, I'll give you a G to hold it. Give me 30 days to give you cash you out, your 50 Gs. Okay. And so now you got 30 days to go find another investor that'll take that. So you bring that to me. I'm like, oh, okay, $50,000 for a $100,000 building. Give me that. And so that's going to be all day. You're going to find a buyer for that all day. So your purchase price is what this formula is there for, is to help you identify the purchase price. And this is the price as an investor as what you will be able to make money on at this building. It's not about how pretty it is. It's not, I don't care about what it's worth. And I don't care that, if you complain, hey, you gypping me. I'm not doing nothing to you. I'm making an offer. I'm telling you, I don't care what you think it's worth. To me, it's worth 50,000. Do you want this 50 or not? If not, okay, I'm gonna go move on. I'm gonna go to the next building. No harm, no foul. The person don't have to get mad. Go do what you got to do to sell the property for $1,000, $400,000. So you're gonna have to spend money. You're gonna have to do the repairs, and then you're gonna lose money on the sales costs. So let's say hypothetically, you might make 70,000 off of it. When it's all said and done. Maybe not. So it's better for you just take my 50 right now. So that formula is important for all of these strategies, and that formula is your fundamental strategy for how you are searching for real estate investment opportunities. And I'm going to cut it there. Again, I may do a separate video on every one of these strategies and go into further detail. But and there's more strategies than this. But these are the fundamentals that will help you become a real estate investor and acquire your first property. And if you're already a real estate investor, help you in doing what you're doing. Incorporate variations of these strategies. You might have use multiple strategies on one property. So I'm gonna cut it there. Please like and share and subscribe. Hit the bell, and if you want to reach out and talk to me about stock market investing, real estate investing, whatever the point, financial planning. Those are my areas of expertise, and I'll be happy to help you. I'll put contact information, a scheduling app in the comments in the link below. All right. Talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. Holla.